full police copper outfit. Pulled me in, I was like, I'm gonna get a ticket or I'm gonna get brought to court or something, fine. He comes up to the window and looks at me. Have you got a driver's license? I says, yeah. Showed him the driver's license. He looked at the driver's license, looked at me and said, do you mind if I jump in the passenger seat for a selfie? All right then. Jumps in the passenger, takes a selfie. Thanks very much, see you later. Off I went at 200 miles per hour. Like Batman.
We're less than 2 weeks away from UFC 189. Jose Aldo is your opponent for that. And I was fascinated by your move in the news conference. I know you guys are always trying to get into the head of your opponent. Back in March, for the news conference to promote the fight, you actually snatched his belt. You hope to do that on July 11th, but you took
Well, I
his belt.
snatched my belt.
Well,
it
that's
was simply
your
taking what was mine. He was on my home turf and he tried to lay claim that he was the king of my...
Strike first. If I am your opponent, what do you do?
Well, for me, there are many ways to attack a body. You can attack the knee is real quick. I can parry that, take that knee in. If it's a lazy low hand like that, I can take it down Bruce Lee style. I can hit the ribs. We know he has sore ribs as well. There are many ways I can win this fight. There are many ways I can inflict pain on my opponent and put him away.
How will Aldo try to attack Conor?
Okay, well, Aldo's a very fast guy, and these guys have been wanting to get at each other. The big question is, can Aldo even get to Conor McGregor? Somebody that's got the footwork of Conor, the awkward styles constantly is changing between an orthodox and a southpaw stance. So if Aldo can come out here and try to engage with Conor, that's where we're going to find out. Does his speed trump the notorious ones?
Are you going to take the fight to him, or are you going to let him bring it to you?
As soon as the bell rings...
Are good. You're staying switched on, jab, and you're switched on, jab, and you're switched on. When you throw the combination jab, slip, uppercut, backhand, roll, this is you, bouncing. All wasted movement. Jab, slip, uppercut, right hand, roll, and then what?
The place is right here, straight blast gym. I'm here every damn day. Another place where, I mean, Temple Bar is the obvious one. It's a tourist attraction for many people come over.
What's your favorite bar in there?
I don't know. I tell you, if you were to go to a bar, I'd probably go to the Guinness factory, you know, to learn about that. That's the Guinness brewery is in Dublin city centre, so that's a good place to go and visit. Me personally, I like Grafton Street. I like around the whole area. It's a load of questions, so, and that's it. So.
Round one is in the books for McGregor.
No, he doesn't really believe those things. You have to understand the psychology. This is the first time ever Floyd has been in a spot where he wasn't favored to beat a guy. Everybody is expecting Floyd to go out and not only dominate this fight, but get him out of there in 1 or 2 rounds. Floyd is starting to feel that. It's an unusual spot for him where he's looking and going, hey guys, I appreciate that you all have faith in me, but you've got a little bit too much. How about we go out there and 2 men go out and have a contest? These are the intangibles, because what Teddy and I are watching right now is an amateur boxer getting ready to take on the best of all time. But the intangibles do matter.
That is a pretty stark characterization. An amateur boxer getting ready to take on a guy that could be 50-0 by the time the month is out. Our Brett Okamoto has been on the scene all day. We've moved to Station 3. A couple action in the ring, that we've hit the bag twice. He's there, boots on the ground. His eyes are closer than any of us. Brett, what are you seeing right now with your 2 eyes there?
Yeah, from a technical standpoint, I think Chael and Teddy have really outlined a lot of what's going through my mind. I mean, obviously, one thing I told you, Zubin, is that I expected him to be in amazing shape, and I know that that's very, very crucial.
We were worried about him. We thought the worst was after happening. You know what I mean? He was certainly badly concussed. As far as the images that got leaked, let me clear this: I didn't leak no images. The image I leaked and the image I released, the only image I released was the original one where my hands were behind my back, and that was in response to the comment where he said, he went on a big quote, and one of the comments in the quote was, "I will beat him with one hand tied behind my back." So I released one picture with me whooping his ass with both hands behind my back. And then he just got out of there and went running, and I don't know, I mean, I don't mind Paulie. He came in, he spoke a hell of a game previous, very disrespectful to the skill set, very disrespectful to the discipline. But no matter what a man says, if they show up and try to answer that and try their best, you've got to give respect, and that's what happened. He showed up, he tried his best. It didn't go his way, he got his ass whooped, he got his pride dented, and then he wanted a way out. What better way for a guy like him to exit under a load of questions and mysterious, you know what I mean? So we had fighters in the Philly shell, similar to the style that he always fights, or fighters against the ropes, but never fighters. Well, we did have fighters coming forward like with that style, the way he eventually went. But that was only in the early rounds. Early rounds, I'm eating guys alive there. It's when I get tired, that's when I need to bring in that fresh body who's going to sit on my chest and let shots fly. And if I'd done that alone would have made that the easiest fight in my life. Because make no mistake, Carl, up until like round 5, that was the easiest fight in my life. I could see everything he was throwing. I was cracking him easily. It was only when I started fading and he started leaning on me and started coming forward in that Mexican style that I started to fade, and that's it. So that's what I would do differently. I'd have people come pressure me when I'm tired instead of early. So.
Well, you're always pushing the boundaries with the training and the techniques that you're using. You're at the UFC High Performance Center. You know, we saw you sort of running underwater on treadmills, doing all this crazy stuff. Is there anything from this training camp that you can take into your UFC training camps now, sort of new skills that you learn?
I built an incredible engine. Make no mistake about that. Although 30 minutes is, I went 25 minutes. I got into the best shape of my life, so I'm just going to keep going with it, and then also know that, like in this camp, it was like round 1 to 8 was the fight, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 was my friends, more people I'm comfortable with, just to get to the 12th round, because I had to get to the 12th round in sparring comfortably and safely. And if I'd done it too early, I could have picked up an injury, lost out on the fight, lost out on the whole event, and hampered everything. So that was the goal. This time, I'd probably switch it around. I'd have round 1 to 8 heavy, real competitive, and then I just have a heavier opponent on me, putting the pressure for the last 4 rounds, and I just have to survive in there. And I honestly, truly feel if I'd have done that, I would have been laughing in that fight. But look, you live and learn. That's what we say. You don't lose. You either win or you learn.
Yeah, and that saying has taken you well through your career so far. We have some water, please. Look.
Nah, vodka and orange. Look that. I'm squeezed into this suit. I got this suit fitted about a couple of months ago, and I'm squeezing into it now.
Is this one of the McGregor Augusto?
Yeah, this is an August McGregor line. It looks like the tartan for the Scots. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that. That's why I rocked this one.
Look, you may have bought a suit. Mayweather's put an 8-foot glass picture of you in his new 19 million home in Beverly Hills. Are you going to reciprocate?
I don't know. It's some house. It's some house. What I noticed from it, fair play to him, it's some porch. It's a $26 million Beverly Hills mansion. But I'm thinking, that house purchase, the tax bill off this fight, the tax bill off the previous bill,
And then as good investments, I could be getting a phone call anytime soon to go again, and I'd fucking love that.
That's not out of the question. There looked like there was a lot of respect between the two of you after the fight, and even in the build-up, you were enjoying yourself. I mean, if you look back at it now, what was the most memorable or enjoyable part of the whole experience, from the deal getting done, to the crazy press tour, to the fight week itself, and the aftermath?
Cashing the check.
Can you tell us what you did clear in the end? There was reportedly 100 million.
Yeah, well, it's around that. We're still in the counting game. Some people are saying it's this, other people are saying it's that. You know, you get your show money, then you go, you gather all the other information, the gate, the pay-per-view, the sponsorship revenue, the merchandise sales. It's my first time as a promoter of an event. So it's my first time kind of diving into all of these things. So I'm building a nice little team of auditors to go in and make sure that all these numbers that people are telling me are correct.